Yo, what's up? I'm back, man. Another movie review. You already know what this one is for. I ain't even gotta say the name for this film. I know it's been a couple of weeks, man. I was supposed to drop a couple movie reviews. I was supposed to do one for Pet Sematary. I actually did one for Pet Sematary, but I didn't upload it to YouTube. I probably will upload it to YouTube because it's just sitting, on my phone or whatever. And I actually went to go see Hellboy opening weekend when it came out, but I never got the chance to record a review, and that was because when I saw it the first time, I actually fell asleep during the movie. So I wanted to see it again so that I could give a better review, but I never got around to seeing it twice. So I never recorded the review. I don't know if I'm still going to do that review. It's been out for a couple weeks now. I don't think that movie really matters anymore. So yeah, that's just a missed opportunity on my part. So my bad. But like I said, man, you already know what this one is for. I don't even have to you already see it in the title. This is the highly anticipated movie of the year, man. Avengers Endgame is finally here. The end to what I would say the Marvel saga. Well, it's not really the end to the Marvel saga, but you get what I'm saying. It's just the end of the big grand story that's been told over 10 years. And just got back from seeing it, and I just gotta say right off the bat, this movie is long. It is long. I know they said this movie is 3 hours long, which it pretty much clocks in at a little over 3 hours, but it feels like it was 5 hours long. It just kept going and going. When you think it would end, it just kept going and going and going. And it's man, when is this gonna stop? But it's so funny. I didn't really mind, even though it felt long. I didn't mind it, being long. It's kind of weird. I actually didn't mind it. Kept going and going and going. You know what I'm saying? So even though yes, it is a very long burn. It's basically a marathon of a movie, but I didn't mind it at all. So I just got to say that right off the bat. But wow, now this is gonna be my first impression for this movie, because I'm actually planning on seeing it again this weekend. So I'm gonna do this in 3 parts. This one, I don't even think I could call it a review, to be honest. This one is going to be just my first impressions. What do I think seeing it for the first time? So my next actually video, which I'm planning on doing, is going to be the actual review, where I go into the non-spoilers and I go into a lot of the spoiler stuff. And then the final part is going to be where do I think Marvel will go from here. So like I said, this is the first part. It's just my first impressions of the film. What do I just think of it just off top? I gotta say, man, I went into this movie hype. I thought this was gonna be the grand finale, just all out blitz, total destruction. This is it. And you get that, but I don't know, maybe my expectation was just too high. Because this film doesn't really feel yes, it wrapped up all at the end, but I don't know. I think it's kind of, I think I put too much of a high expectation on it, because it just didn't feel like that. I don't know. That's just me. Other people may feel different. There is a big fight scene at the end, of course, but still, it just didn't feel it just didn't feel epicness. It didn't feel weighty. It's kind of weird, like I said. But I do gotta say, after seeing this movie now, I do gotta say, man, I think Infinity War was better. I just felt just the stakes was just... Like I said, this one is hard, man, because I really thought that this movie was gonna be this is it. Not to say that it was bad. I really enjoyed the movie a lot, to be honest with you. I really enjoyed it. It was a really good movie. But I just feel like it was just missing that epic. I think Avengers Infinity War just had so much more, like, I don't know, man. Like, it's hard. Like I said, this is my first time seeing it, so maybe when I see it again, you know, I'll like it a little bit more. Not to say that I don't like it at all. Like I said, I do really like this film, man, but I don't know. It just didn't have that epic, like, I feel like I kind of, you know, went into this movie on a super, super high. Like, the bar was already set so high with Infinity War. I thought this was gonna, like, just top everything. But it really didn't, you know. I gotta say that, like, I just feel like it didn't. It really didn't. Like I said, it's a long movie. It's a slow burn. Like, it gradually takes you to the end. And like I said, you know, when you know, of course, it's a big fight scene. I'm not gonna spoil anything here. Try to keep this as clean as possible. You know, when the big battle scene happens in the end, it's just, I just feel like it's fanfare, man. You know, there's a lot of there's a couple of big surprises that happened, man, that just hit me out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And just some things that didn't really add up to me. Like I said, I'm not going into spoilers. I'm not gonna say what those things are. There's a couple of things that's just like, wait, how did that happen? You know, all of a sudden this happened now. Like, when was this able to happen before? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you know, I'm trying to keep it clean here. And yeah, it's, man, this one is hard, man. This one is hard. But like I said, first impressions, really good movie. I'm actually very curious to see what other people think about this one, because I feel like people are gonna leave this movie a little bit disappointed. I have a sense that this is gonna get some, like, mixed reviews. I don't think everybody is gonna love this one, man. I just don't think so. I just feel like with Infinity War, that was it, man. That was like, yo, that was that was movie of the year. You know, it was just so impactful. You know what I'm saying? And this one, it was just such a slow, like, gradual burn up until, like, the end, and then you get the payoff. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was some serious impact. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, there was some serious impact. And you know, when you see those things happen, you're gonna be like, holy hell. So I feel like this movie is definitely a take back from Infinity War. I think the thing with Infinity War and this one, Infinity War was more action packed. So if you're expecting, like, nonstop action for a whole 3 hours, you are not gonna get that. This is like, there's hardly any action in this movie, man. It didn't really even feel like a comic book film for the most part, up until, like, the end when everything happens. But for, like, 2/3 of the movie, I would say, like, a little bit over 2/3 of the movie, it's basically a lot of dialogue and just, you know, trying to refix things again. You know what I'm saying? And you're just sitting there for most of the time like, okay, when is something gonna happen? When is something gonna happen? When is something gonna happen? And it's, like I said, it's like hardly end. Like, up until the end, there is, like, no recollection of action whatsoever. There's bits and pieces of it, like, here and there, but it's very just, like, few and far in between up until the end. Like, they save it up all the way to the end. They just jam pack it all the way to the end. But leading up to it, it's definitely, like I said, for me, I enjoyed it because, like I said, I am a big fan of the Marvel films, and I'm a big fan of, you know, comic book films in general. You know, I really gotten into comics ever since, you know, the Marvel thing kicked off. And like I said, for me, for fans, you know, I think they're going to really enjoy it. But for people who's not really into the whole Marvel thing, they're not really into comic book films at all, they're just, like, general fans, or they just go just because they friends are their friends want to see it, and they're just going for the fellowship with their friends. These are just like general fans. I feel like those type of people, they may not like it as much as the super heads, like the super comic book heads. Even with some comic book heads, I don't think that they'll fall in love with this movie, because like I said, after seeing it now, like my hype has actually died down a little bit, to be honest with you. Like I went into this movie on a super high. Like I thought this was gonna be like over, like, yo, things are gonna happen, blah blah blah, and after seeing it, it's just like good, yeah, impactful. Like a lot of important stuff happened. Like wow, like it's a different kind of impact. Like I said, with Infinity War was more action packed, this one is a little bit more emotional. Like I said, especially towards the end, is definitely very emotional, because you get to fall in love with these characters after so many years of seeing them on the screen, and you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I don't want to go into too much, because I don't want to go into kind of spoiler territory, but like I said, like the impact that happens in this one is going to be more heartfelt. That's where I feel like the impact is. I do like in the beginning they show kind of like the after effects of the snap. They, you kind of see the world that, Captain America and all the heroes have to live in after the snap happened. And, you definitely see, everybody's trying to cope with it. Everybody's trying to cope with the environment that they have to live in now. And, it's just all about just fixing things again, and just coming back together for one more time to undo things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna leave it at that. So, in the end, was this the big payoff? What was this like? I guess the question I'm trying to ask is, was this film kind of like the nice capstone to a grand story? And I would say, yeah, yes. It's not like a strong yeah. It's like I kind of felt like it could have been a little bit better, to be honest. Like I said, I thought that this film was going to be, better than Infinity War. I thought this was going to top, like, every single other Marvel film that, came out so far, and it really didn't. It kind of fell short, to be honest. And, certain storylines ended really good. Like I said, a couple of emotional scenes here and there, but the couple of emotional scenes are very big emotional scenes. And like I said, the impact is much more emotional than action packed. I feel like Infinity War, a lot more things was happening, man, just a lot more, and it just kept you, kept you in tune. This one, you could probably fall asleep during this one. I didn't fall asleep. I was wide awake throughout the whole thing, because like I said, I do love, the whole Marvel comic book thing. But for people who are not really into that, or who just follow it generally, they're not really into the whole lore behind, certain stories of certain characters and just the whole story in general. They're not like super fans. They just watch it because everybody else watch it, and, their friends are going out to see it, so they want to see it with their friends. Those type of people that don't really care about Marvel so much, I don't think that they're going to really like this one, to be honest. Wow, my sinuses are kicking in. Like, my nose are all stuffed up here. But, yeah, I just feel like they're going to leave this theater kind of like, yo, this is like just a drag, man. It just kind of feel like a little bit of a waste of time. Like I said, those are for the general fans. But for like the super like comic heads, the ones who's like into this whole MCU thing like me, I feel like actually it's going to be a pretty little bit of a mixed bag. I feel like There's going to be some who probably really like it. Some that's going to be like, it could have been better. Like me, I'm kind of like, you know, in that middle ground. Like, it was good, really good, really good. I really enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to make it seem like this is a bad movie and this is like super disappointing and this is going to be like a total waste of time. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that for me personally, I'm kind of like, I have a little bit of a mixed feelings for this one. I don't really love it. I really like it, but I don't love it. I can't say I love it. Like I said, it's my first time seeing it. I'm going to see it again. And usually when I see films the second time, my opinions doesn't really change. But who knows? I mean, maybe I could see something different. And, you know, after, you know, sitting on this one for the first time, like letting my thoughts sit a little bit and going into it again. Now that the hype has died down, now I could go into it again kind of like with a fresh mind. Because like I said, I went into this all hyped. I was like, yo, ready, set, go. This is going to be it. And like I said, after seeing it now, my hype is kind of like died down a little bit. So for those who haven't seen it yet and are like super, super hype and have their expectations set on like the max, do not set your expectations super high, because you may be disappointed after seeing it, because it's not what you think it is. Like I said, the action is definitely, it's not a lot of action at all. It's more dialogue than anything. It's more planning. Like I said, 2/3 of the movie is just bits and pieces of action with a lot of dialogue and them going to certain places and try to fix things again. So do not go into this film like, yo, this is going to be it. Because like I said, after you walk out, you may be disappointed. So maybe it's on me. Maybe I just had my expectations set way too high. Because Marvel, they always set the bar on a super high. And I felt like after Infinity War, they definitely set that bar like super high. But I feel like this one, it didn't like... It wasn't better than Infinity War. And I feel like if I see it again, I'll have the same opinion. I'll still feel like Infinity War was the better film because it was much more memorable to me. A lot more scenes in Infinity War was much more memorable than this one. But the difference is, with this one, the most memorable scenes is the one that's the most impactful throughout the whole entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. So you get a couple of memorable moments, but those memorable moments trump everything that's happened in the whole MCU. So you just got to go into this one with kind of like an open mind. Like, do not set your expectations on super high. Just go into it and see what happens. I feel like that's the best way to enjoy this movie, because if you set your expectations like so high, where you feel like this is going to be like the best Marvel movie ever, this is going to be the best comic book movie ever, it's going to be like action just nonstop, you go see Thanos. No, cut that out. That's not happening here. It's not happening. So at the end of the day, you know, just to wrap it up, I feel like it's a really good movie if you're into this thing, or if you have been like super involved and super just been following this whole MCU thing for over 10 years. Like, if you've been in it, like if you're a comic book head, if you're an MCU head, if you're just, you know, just a fan of these type of films in general, like if you've been really following it, I could at least say you're going to really, really like it. I can't say that you're going to love it. I could be wrong. Some people are different. I understand that. But for the most part, I feel like this one is going to be a mixed bag. Definitely. I'm very curious to see other people's reviews on this film, because I really feel like there's going to be mixed reviews all over the place. You're going to have some that's going to say, yeah, I really like it a lot. Some people probably going to love it. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of people like me to where it's like, it was good, really good, but there's some things that I was like, and it's going to be kind of murky. So I'm going to wrap it up from here. Like I said, this is my first impressions. I'm going to go and see it again this weekend, and I'm going to give my full review there. I'm going to go into non-spoilers and then afterwards go into the spoilers. There's a lot to say, so just be on the lookout for that. But I'm out of here, man. My nose is stuffed up, so peace, man.